starting this live video. Hello. I'm starting this live video to talk about intent. And because a lot of my posts lately, not only the daily spreads, but also my own personal posts. Hello, Roselia. I love you too, baby girl. But my posts of late have been really to show the difference of what intent means. Is the music too loud or is it good? So I wanted this to be live so that you can really interact with me. I want as many questions as that will come up. But I really wanted to talk about why I made the posts that I posted, and actually talk about the belief that there might be ramification. Tell Priscilla I love her too. So I have been seeing for more than a month. Hi Morgan, beautiful Morgan. Hi Diana. I've been seeing for a long while now the shift in divine feminine energy, the reclaiming of our sovereignty and liberation in our bodies. But what I have been seeing is that the intent is off. And this worries me because as a spiritual teacher, it's important for us to constantly be putting our content out with not only the highest level of integrity, but also with pure intent, so that people can feel that and then learn from that. And I don't feel like that's happening. And so I've been pushed by the universe to be more visible, to be more vocal. And it's probably the most uncomfortable thing that I've ever had to do. I like my the safety of my inner spaces and sacred spaces and one-on-one and my small healing groups. And even though I have lectured to really immense groups, it's that's my element. But I have allowed my healing journey to be very visible. And I have been very transparent and very honest and super high integrity. And I believe that that's palpable by most people. You can see the difference. But it's been very important for me, and she's on here on the live, Roselia, my beautiful princess. It's super important for me to teach divine feminine and divine masculine the difference between feeling a post and thinking a post. And so when you see a woman who's claiming that she is honoring her sacred body and sharing her nakedness, that her intent is actually pure. And a very small percentage of what I'm actually witnessing on social media is actually pure. And so like Jen, and I wanted to look up her name. So Cindy Bueno, and if she's on, if somebody knows her screen name, type it on here so I can say it. And then Jen, the Kangen water chick. Both of them have been baring their bodies, and you can feel their posts that they are just really claiming their empowerment, their own empowerment, and I love that. But there are very large pages, and I'm not going to call them out because that's not right, but they are claiming that they are awakening their Shakti and their sacredness, and really in their nakedness, what I'm feeling is an invitation. And it's not an invitation for empowerment, it's an invitation for sexual engagement, for them actually looking for validation outside of themselves, for attention, for maybe likes, attention, And so I really felt challenged by that I had to be more visible, but also in the test of all tests, to see if I bared my skin, if it would be received properly and actually felt. And so steadily I've been doing that. One, allowing people into my sacred practice of recalibrating my parts by allowing people to watch me dance. And that's actually a sacred practice of mine. I do it in between my clients, and I do it at the end of the day, and it's how I actually get back in my body, how I ground myself, how I recalibrate my parts, body, mind, and soul. So you are watching something sacred when I'm dancing, and there's a difference. And I made a very specific and deliberate thing to show my daughter, okay, how does this make you feel? Showing her a post of another woman dancing, and she's like, I don't know. And I said, no, don't think it, Rosalia, feel it. And she's like, it makes me feel uncomfortable. I said, okay, now watch this. And I showed her me. And she's like, oh, that makes me cringe. And I said, okay, pretend for a minute I'm not your mom. And she said, it actually calms me. And so then I knew I was onto something, because that's the intent. That intent, if it's proper and pure intent, it can be felt. It's palpable. And so then I allowed myself to show more of my body, and the photo shoot that I did with Janaea, allowing myself to show more of my body, and then my full torso, well, from this down, and I didn't receive not even one single private message that was inappropriate. And I knew that I was onto something, that the intent was actually being felt, that not a single person looked at that and felt that it was an invitation, or felt that I was looking for validation outside of myself, or that I was looking for likes or follows or attention. None of that. And so then I wrote a poem and posted my bare bottom. And I said, now this will be the test of all tests. Let's see if I can post my bare bottom with a poem and have it received with just as much reverence and respect, you know, the deep, deep respect that the front side of my torso received. And it had. And the only negative response that I received from my bottom was actually a woman that I had been a nurse with decades ago. And the message was, Sherry, you're so classy and beautiful, but not this. She said, you should have made it private, but everyone can see it. It's public. And so then I messaged her. I said, how did that make you feel? And she didn't answer me. And I said, let me put it this way. If it makes you feel any kind of way, it actually has more to do with you than it does to do with me. And so then I explained to her that I hadn't received any attention for it, or inappropriate attention for it, and that she was the only one that had anything even slightly negative to say about it. And then she messaged me back and she said, please accept my apology. Yes, it's always about them. Exactly. So, well, it is and it isn't, because people were triggered by me for sure. But then they approached me and said, wow, I was actually able to look at myself and reflect on that, and I felt empowered. So it all depends. I mean, when you're talking about sexuality, you're not, I mean, there is a difference. This is me posting my body, but Do you get inappropriate private messages? What's her name? Femme Botanica. I would really love to know, can you give me feedback about that? What are the kind of messages that you get? Because I actually used to have an intimate health blog when I was in medicine. I spent 17 years in medicine, and I never received inappropriate messages. And I didn't use my real name back then because I didn't want the attention, but I had 4,000 subscribers, most of them in the UK, and the UK is way more relaxed about sexuality, but I never got inappropriate, but they also didn't see what I looked like. So it's very different when you're not showing your own body. But here I am, I'm a spiritual teacher, and I'm showing my body. There's a difference, but I'm curious. So, I was also curious how the males that I have history with would respond, because my energy, like I said, I am, and this is every post, even if it's just words. My intent is always coming from a pure place. It's never like, I wonder what people are going to think about this. I really don't give a fuck what people are going to think. I'm coming from pure intent, saying this is my heart, and I'm posting this. I'm not saying this is my thinks or my ego or my intellect and I'm posting this. It always comes from, okay, Spirit, tell me what I need, and then I'm posting it. And what the consciousness needs. And so intent has been coming up in the spread a lot. And this was the most powerful way that I could harness to teach intent, because it is so palpable. And sexuality is such a taboo subject. As you know, if you teach vaginal healing, for sure, sexuality is one of those places where you get a lot of shallow swimmers. But spirituality, unfortunately, of late, we have a lot of spiritual bypassing. So there's a lot of spiritual pages that have zero substance and a huge amount of followers. And so I felt that I needed to talk about this. Yeah. So talking about yoni steam. And I've actually talked about that on videos too, because every full moon I do detox for my yoni. Yeah. But thank you for sharing that. So I did get random message requests, but I don't ever accept message requests. I just delete them. So who knows? Maybe they had something to say about my bottom. Who knows? But my followers did not. And so even the males that I had history with, there was a beautiful message from one male, and he said, you know, as soon as I saw it, I felt some kind of way. I'm not gonna lie, because I felt like that's mine. And then I had to remind myself, I don't own you. But then I listened to the poem, and it changed everything about how I felt, and even how I saw the picture. It completely changed everything. And that was the point. That's why I attached that picture to a poem. And the only reason why I posted the picture again alone is because the silly video, when I recorded it, blew the picture up and you couldn't see the full with my feet and everything. And it was important for me to show that, because I was completely in a state of, after a shower, relaxed. That's how I lounge, just in my nakedness and enjoying my own company and presence with myself. And it's important that that's what the intent was also. I wasn't posing that way to say, don't I have a nice ass? And look, I've birthed 2 children, but it's hanging in there. I mean, that was not my intent at all. I wasn't trying to say I'm 49 and still got it. I wasn't trying to say like, don't you want to smack that ass? And I wasn't trying to invite anybody to say, give me more likes. Isn't this beautiful? It wasn't that at all. And I think that came across very perfectly. And I know that I did trigger some. And there was also another beautiful message by a woman that I wanted to share, because this is what's so important. It's about feeling liberated in your own skin. And she messaged me and she said that it made her cry. And it reminded her of her ex-husband, and that her ex-husband had said, no one's ever gonna want to see your naked body now you've had 2 kids and it's wrecked. Like basically saying that who would want to see you now? And she said, and I saw you and I know that you have 2 kids. And I could see where your body was soft, and I could tell that you didn't edit the picture or use filters or anything, but your body was so beautiful. And I want that freedom. I want that freedom for myself. And I spent decades hiding my body because of something that someone said that was cruel. And it makes me cry, and your post made me cry. Hello to you too. How are you? Thank you. Thank you, Claudia. And so that's why I did that. It wasn't comfortable for me, and I'm not an exhibitionist by any means. And people know, and I don't have multiple partners either. I am very much a serial monogamist, and very careful of who I share my energetic space with. Very selective. And so I was even wondering how those males would feel seeing that. And like I shared about him, he said he was immediately triggered into that, but had to check himself. And so that, I feel, was the intent. He right away was triggered into that toxic mindset, but because my intent came from a pure place, he right away had to check himself and say, wow, it's not anything about this. I see the truth of it now, and had to check himself. And I think that that's beautiful, and that's the whole point of intent, to really embody that liberation in your own skin, but to also feel like what's your driving force? Because your awareness and your attention is what creates intention. So if you're saying, I'm gonna post this and I hope so-and-so sees it, your intent is not right. Your intent is about manipulation, not about pure intent. It's not heart-centeredness. Hi, Maria, beautiful. I said the things. I think I said the things. And so it was important for me. And I showed my daughter when I had the picture of my bottom, and I said, how do you feel? And she's like, it's okay, it looks good. And I said, I'm gonna post it. And she didn't say anything. And then after I posted it, I said, how do you feel? And she said, I feel good. And I said, you're not gonna disown me? And she's like, no, of course not. I think it was brave and it's beautiful. And I said, good. And then I said, have any of your friends said anything? Because I was curious. You know, she's a teenager, and quite a few of her friends follow me. And shout out to the girls, my adopted daughters. And so she said, no, just Caitlin. Shout out to my niece, Caitlin. And that my niece had mentioned that my brother was one of my followers, and she's like, oh my God, but Uncle Rob follows her, and Aunt Laura, which is my sister-in-law. And neither of them reached out to me, and they know. I mean, honest to God, you will never meet a more authentically free-spirited person than myself, and I'm not an exhibitionist. And so everyone who truly knows me, Maria can vouch for that, knew that when I posted my bottom, that was huge for me. And that I might be feeling even some kind of way for myself, like right away want to retreat off of social media, like, here, let me post it and run. Because I didn't know what the backlash would be, or if there would even be any. I knew that my intent was pure, and I was hoping that people were going to understand that. And obviously it was received properly, but I wanted to share this because this is coming up so much in the card pulls for the collective consciousness, that intent is everything. And so when we come from a place of improper intent, we hold others captive because it's deceitful. So if you are using your ego in any kind of way to direct what you say or what you do, those on the receiving end of it are being held captive to deceit. But when you are creating, speaking from a space that is heart-centered and pure, then everyone can clearly see the truth of what they are receiving, and they can make their decisions based on that. So there's no deceit. There's no one being held captive. It's not manipulation. It's not using our power to. It's using our power for the betterment of not only ourselves, but for everything out here. So not to control, not to manipulate. And that was the most important thing that I wanted to share. But does anyone have any questions? There's only 5 of you left on this live, but I did it live because I really feel that this is super important conversation to have live. And also, honestly, when I have live conversations, you can see also and feel that my intent is pure and that I am authentic and I'm not full of shit, because this is totally unscripted and I'm speaking as a conduit and as a divine portal, not as someone who's regurgitating something that they've been read, something that they've read or been taught. That I'm actually legit. Maria, liberating other women. Thank you. Oh, Maria, I love you. Thank you. And all of the love, I feel it. I feel all that love. Who's giving me hearts? It doesn't tell me who's giving hearts, but I see all the hearts. Thank you. I feel it. I feel it all. Femme Botanica, thank you. Thank you for your work. Let's steam those yonis. Thank you. And I love the work you do. More women need to love on their yonis instead of treating it like it's some all-elusive thing. Hi, Alex. So does anyone have any questions about intent? About what intent actually is? Because intent is our driving force, but there's a force that's behind the intent. And that is what affects our reality. And so when I make those posts and I say come clean, or walk your talk, or practice what you preach, and all of those things, that's talking about pure intent. I remember the first time I was called pure, and I was in my 20s, and I laughed because okay, I'm a New Yorker, and even though I live in Arizona now, I don't edit and everything comes through me, but literally my favorite word is fuck, because it's so powerful, right? It can be used as a noun, a pronoun, adjective, verb. And so my mind right away went to intellect, judgment, pure. I am not pure. Thinking pristine, and the Holy Mother. No, but pure just means, are you heart-centered? Is it coming from an authentic, high integrity place? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad it resonated with you, and the work you do leaves you vulnerable too, and thank you for the work you do, because that's the real work that's awakening the divine feminine, because you're empowering them in a deep way too. Hey, how's it going? I see that you're engaged now. Congratulations. I saw your post that you said she said yes. Congratulations. I'm happy for that for you. And it looks like a beautifully divine union. Oh, big red heart to you too, Femme Botanica. So no questions. I'm gonna cut the live if there's no questions, because I wanted to leave this open for questions, and I invite conversation. But honest to God, bare ass and all, I did not get one single inappropriate DM picture. And this is with just shy of 5,000 friends on Facebook, just shy of 2,000 followers on my Facebook business page, and 800 whatever it is on Instagram here. And my business page on Facebook and this one are actually public. So I think that says a whole lot for the palpability of proper intent, pure intent, versus that which is not. And and YouTube is public, but like I get so little views on YouTube. So any questions? No? And the music in the background, by the way, is just Rini. I love him. Music, I just have it on shuffle. So if you're asking, because I have people ask me all the time my music, and I keep forgetting to post like the music that I'm listening to, but I love music. It's so powerful. So my day is now done, and I am sending love and gratitude to every one of you. Thank you.